Today is a big day in the entire basketball world. And why is that? Well, Jalen Green out of Fresno is announcing that he's bypassing college. That's right, he's not going to the NCAA because he's joining the NBA G League for the 2020-2021 season. Huge news. He is attempting to forge a new path for elite high school athletes. When that broke today, I was like, oh my gosh, the NCAA is in big trouble. And you better believe it because now the NBA G League is able to afford big time salaries, something that college basketball has been reluctant to do forever. So for them not to even allow their athletes to sell their likability is just beyond ridiculous. On top of not being able to pay these elite athletes who generate millions of dollars for all these colleges and universities, right? Now what the now what the G League is doing, which again, let's go back a little bit. They really did steal the idea from LeVar Ball, who started his league, which was a JBA, and it wasn't as successful as he thought it was, or as he thought it would be. But what it did was it generated some buzz and some ideas started flowing. The NBA G League grabbed that idea and executed it better because now they have the resources, the money that the JBA didn't have. So the idea was to pay these elite athletes to play as an alternative route rather than going to college or rather than going to playing overseas like a lot of athletes have. LaMelo Ball is one of the most notorious ones that made that move. Thon Maker, Brandon Jennings back in the day. Back in the day, it's like '09, I think. Like '09, 2010, I believe. I think it was '09. It was the year Tyreke Evans was Rookie of the Year. But anyways, this is a big time move from Jalen Green. And it's not just any basketball player. He's the number 2 ranked player on rivals.com. Right? That's a big deal. So, and he's a candidate to be the number 1 pick in the 2021 NBA draft. This kid can essentially do it all. He has size, 6'6". He's nice with the rock, has a nice jump shot, he's athletic, and one of the quotes, which is let me read it to you. I wanted to get better overall and prepare myself for the NBA because that's my ultimate goal. Everything was planned out right and set up for me to succeed. I think this is a good decision. At the end of the day, I'm still going to be able to get back to college and finish school. So it's not like I'm missing out on college because I can go back and finish whenever I need to. School is a big thing in my family. All right, that's the nice little increment that we didn't know was going to be added from the NBA G League, and that's the ability to give an elite prospect money, and not money, a scholarship to further their education if they choose to go in that route. And I'm thinking, say he does retire by the time he's 34, 35, and he still has that eligibility to go to college. Why not take that eligibility? And by that time, you're a lot more mature. You've done what you have to do in terms of your life goal, which is to play in the NBA and make an impact. So at this time, why not use that opportunity that was granted to you because of your um, God given talent? I'm in the firm belief that if you're 17, 18, 19 and your goal is to make it to the NBA and you have to go to college, I'm so happy that the NBA G League stepped up and gave these kids an alternative route because I think it's okay to get paid for your talent and for the hard work that you put into coming into this position. So, shout out to the NBA G League for essentially capitalizing on a great idea from LeVar Ball and now making it their own. They're gonna pay Jalen somewhere in the $500,000. I mean, that's not bad, especially because a lot of the G League players don't make that type of money. So definitely a move in the right direction. And when that happened, the dominoes just started falling, right? Isaiah Todd, who was expected to go to Michigan, decommitted from Michigan, and then signed a deal with the NBA G League, and they're gonna have a select team. So the G League will create a select team in a designated city, which is Los Angeles, with a few roster spots for elite high school players who want to play professionally. And you will have other NBA, other ex NBA players or players trying to get to the NBA as the older players to really round up the roster. I think that's super smart. How many athletes and then I think the big dilemma is though what's going to happen if a lot of these elite athletes choose to come to the NBA G League and get paid because then we're talking now ESPN is going to get involved with televising those games and as of right now I think they're only going to play 20 games out of the 50 if I'm not mistaken. So right now it's just a learning curve type thing. They're waiting to see how it all plays out. I think it's the first step in the right direction for these kids to get paid. So I'm just excited. I just think it's great for the game of basketball to have an alternative for these elite athletes coming out of high school. They don't have to go to college. We all know the truth. Um, they force this false narrative that they're getting an education, but as we know, most of the time it's all general stuff anyway. And a lot of these kids are focused on basketball. Like I'd be lying to you if I said, well, most of these kids are, trying to go to class and learn, but your freshman and sophomore year, they're all general ed classes. And a lot of these kids don't really take those classes serious because they know that they're there to play basketball and they're going to go to the NBA. So let's not sugarcoat this any longer. That's just the truth. So why not go to? It's just like soccer. They prep these kids to become professional at such an early age, and they get them ready mentally, physically, and this is what's going to happen with Jalen Green. So shout out to Jalen Green and his family for just opening this route for so many future NBA prospects, man. And his agent Aaron Goodwin, who also represented LeBron James and Dwight Howard. So that's big time. So he obviously has experience trying to get guys drafted in the top three. And both those guys went number one. So good stuff there. Any other things? I mean, his first 3 seasons, he played at San Joaquin Memorial High School in Fresno before transferring to Prolific Prep here in Napa. So we're about an hour and 30, maybe an hour and 45 from Napa here in Sacramento. He averaged 31.5 points, 7.5 rebounds, and 5 assists, and was named Sports Illustrated All-American Player of the Year. Just big time news for basketball. Other news is Denny Advia from Israel. He announced that he's eligible for the 2020 NBA draft. He's, I think, a top 5 pick in this upcoming draft. He's a 6'9" wing who can essentially do it all, man. I mean, he's pretty fast for his size. He's played point guard, small forward, shooting guard. Uh, and when he plays with Israel, obviously he's playing a much smaller role with his team, which is he's playing with Teliadvia or Maccabi, uh, is the easier way of saying it. Playing over there, playing with NBA players, being in that type of environment. Uh, his team was 18-1, first place in the Israeli league, and then they were 19-9 in the Euro League, competing for a Final Four spot. And as you guys remember, Bogdan Bogdanovic, Luka Doncic played in the Final Four, and that was just an amazing tournament and something that could really help you prepare you for these type of moments in the NBA. So I just think that Advia is easily a top 5 pick, and it's going to be a really good NBA basketball player. I hope you guys enjoyed that, man. Again, big time news for the NBA world, for the basketball world, just in general. There is another route. You don't have to go to college for 1 year or 6 months essentially. That's really what it is. You can now go to the G League and get paid. I think that's fair and it's the right move. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to slap a like button, share, and drop a comment. Peace.